Hi guys. Yeah, just editing this, I realised keeps cutting in and out for the second part of the podcast. Don't worry, it's something on our end, which should be fixed soon. But um, I thought the message was so strong and it was quite natural, so we shouldn't re-record it. Yeah, and we're back with the Wash Your Hands podcast. I'm back with Izzy, and so what
Hiya.
I want to start talking about is we've spoken a lot about how America are handling this whole movement, but we haven't spoken a lot about other countries. So, for example, we're both English. We have, um,
British.
yeah, born and raised. I was wondering, what's your opinion on how is it applying to the UK?
Um, well, I think it can very strongly apply to the UK. I think it's very justified that our country, in particular London and like Manchester, cities with strong BAME communities, coming out and standing with America in solidarity, because we do have a systematic problem as well. We are a predominantly white nation. There is a lot of white supremacy in the way that the government is run, and I think especially with a conservative government, it can get very difficult for people of color to exist here, um, for a lot of reasons. But I think that in the UK, I think in particular what we need to do is do a review, of the disproportionate BAME deaths. BAME meaning like Black, Asian, minority, blah blah blah. Um, we need to do a review of like the COVID deaths, because there is a disproportionate death toll, and we do need to get justice for Belly Majinga, who was a woman over recent weeks who died of COVID, who got spat in the face, and whether that is a racial attack. Um, the justice system and the way that they've disregarded her case is very racially charged, and I think that the UK standing in solidarity isn't so much in solidarity; it's in we experience this too. Here's us, showing you this, I guess.
Mm. What I think is quite interesting because the government were writing a report on the disproportionate amount of deaths in Asian communities and places
Mm-hmm.
like that in minority communities, and they have actually resisted publishing the report because of, and I quote, global events, meaning the Matter movement. And
Yes.
I personally think that is completely the wrong play. If you're saying we support Black Lives Matter, you should be
Mm.
publishing documents to try and show that you want to help these minority groups overcome this disproportionate amount and with next steps and guidance. Whereas instead they're going, nope, we're going to keep our secrets to ourselves while they keep
Absolutely,
revolting.
absolutely, and you see this in the response. Recently, it was 3 years ago since Grenfell, and obviously that was a tragedy that greatly impacted the BAME community in London, and across the country, but in London in particular, because the community were pulling together to help, not the government. And there are still people without housing because of Grenfell, and that is
Hmm.
a censorship of their own mishaps, their own white supremacy, their own disregard for people of color. It is it is completely disgusting. It's laughable. It is something that should be public knowledge. The well-being of our society and the well-being of our communities should be something that we access at all times.
Yeah,
And as I can say personally, that is something that I'd like to know. I'd like to know why, you know, I'd like to know why people in my community are dying because of the color of their skin. That is just the bottom line of it.
yeah,
And I think people are very quick to dodge that as an ideology, dodge that as a fact of this country. But it is true. There is a disproportion. And the fact that they're not publishing that just proves further that the government have a disregard for people of color in this country.
yeah. We've got I think as well as because there's a whole load of news coverage about the American protests, but there are lots of important English ones happening. There we've seen scenes of protests in London. There's a couple in Bristol coming up, and most importantly, I'd like well not most importantly, but I'd like to mention this one because It's in Taunton, which is the local area for both of us and presumably a lot of our listeners if we recommend this to people we know. So, just to reinforce, there is a Taunton Black Lives Matter protest on Friday, the 12th of June at 12 o'clock in Vivery Park. And because of COVID, it is going to be a stationary protest with 2 meter social distancing. But I just thought I'd bring that up so everyone is now aware. Please go out and support this protest if you can. But yeah, I just thought I'd present it.
Yeah. I'm hopefully going to be there. Hopefully. It is difficult, but there are so many ways you can support from home. You can donate to lots and lots of different. I mean, I feel like everyone who's been on social media have seen the hundreds and hundreds of petitions and GoFundMe's that you can donate to, or you can raise awareness for by sharing them on your page.
I'm getting
just
about
getting out
100
there.
emails from change.org a day now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think this is the most emails I've received from change.org. But yeah, it's really important to be interacting with those if you can't get out for any reason. And I think, you know, within a pandemic, it's very difficult to get out. But if you can, please do.
So there are lots of ways to help. For example, starting a podcast. There's also something I'm quite considering doing is just sign making for the protest because I can't go because I have a couple vulnerable people in my family, so I'm staying away for their protection. But I'm looking to start making and producing some signs to give to people to hold at the protest, so at least I can be there in spirit. There's
Absolutely.
that YouTube video. Do you remember who it's by? I think it's Zoe Amira, something like that. But I could be wrong. So Zoeamira, I'm pretty sure. But
this is something we should have pulled up, Luke. Yeah, no, but if you don't know, there is a YouTube video that a lot of people are streaming. Let's have a look.
Well, if you go Google it, I'll
all
explain.
of the AdSense.
Yeah,
all of the AdSense is going towards Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, so they if you're not sure how YouTube makes money, is they run ads on videos. It's about an hour-long video filled with lots of black artwork and music, and you can just either let it run in the background and make sure you've got your ad blocker turned off so you get all the ads or the AdSense, and it runs through, shows you all the ads, and 100% of the money made from it is going straight towards Black Lives Matter charities, and it gives you a list of, I think it's 12 or so of them.
Yes. Well, there are so many YouTube videos now, but I think the original was by a woman called Akira, and she was basically streaming to donate to AdSense. But there are literally tens of videos if you search Black Lives Matter on YouTube, and you can continue to watch the black art, or you go out and do something. The other day I was streaming it on my laptop while I was at work, wrapping up chips, and you know, just small things you can constantly be doing to be active in the momentum of this movement. I think in this day and age with social media, we all have a platform. It's not just influencers, celebrities. And I think, you know, I didn't even realize, because I have 996 followers on Instagram, and those are 996 I can speak to, whether they care about Black lives. And I think people just underestimate the fact that they can make a massive difference amongst their own community that they build online.